Yo, yo, yo. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's change the energy on it. There we go. Cool. There we go. Yeah, let's change the energy on this. Definitely. Cool. I needed that. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let's change the energy. Cool. Just like that. Uh, let's kick it off. Definitely. And for everyone that is here and that is not here, I would like to welcome everyone to 1438 North Ninth, the podcast. You know what I'm saying? And I am your voice of choice. You know what I'm saying? Conversation with, they call me Michael Coates. You know what I mean? So, hey, let's rock and roll. Boom. Today I was going to do an interlude, you know what I mean? A total interlude, go up to my book of life, and read about, what I'm saying, Conky Moorhead, Durella Fontaine, Du Fontaine, and everything like that. So I had to get it together. Got a few things going on with the world and internet, things like that. And I get a little upset, you know what I'm saying? Because, when you deliver the message, you want to deliver it right, and to everybody, that's on YouTube, I would like to say hello and hi. Can you hear this clap? You know what I mean? And everybody on Facebook, I would like to say hello, hi as well. You know what I'm saying? And do you hear that? Boom, because the best idea is the right idea. You know what I'm saying? Become a subscriber on YouTube and Facebook. You know what I'm saying? It's a pleasure to have y'all. Definitely, I was going to do, I was going to talk about the book of life, the lore and folk poetry of the Black hustler, you know what I mean? Because I am a street talking motivational speaker, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing, I'm Black 365 days a year. So Black Friday, Black History Month, hell, I'm Black all the time, you know what I mean? And I love being Black, and hey, you got a lot of melanin, you know what I'm saying? So peace to all the Black kings up out there, the Black queens, you know what I'm saying? And to all the beautiful cultures, you know what I'm saying, that interact, you know what I'm saying, the right way, you know what I'm saying? Boom, I tell you, the ab is starting to look good, boy. You know what I mean? We're going to rock and roll, and I think that's really... So we're going to get into it. And, so I had to change my whole focus and direction. Like I said, I had to take that template, you know what I mean? And I need to work on a few things. And that's the best part, So I'm going to talk about meltdowns. You know what I'm saying? What? Meltdowns. Ooh, we don't want to do that. Well, we don't want to move the fortress, We do not want to move the fortress. There we go. Oh, war. Oh, good God. And that's the sound of the bell. You know what I mean? It is time to rock and roll. You know what I mean? So let's get into it. I'm going to talk about meltdowns because I just had a whole damn meltdown. Why? Because I want things to work well. Things are not going to always work well in life. You know what I mean? And I realize that, hell, go through it every day. But then some things are a little more important than other things. So what's the importance of it? The importance of it is to have control of it. Hell, I'm human. It's called the nth factor. You know what I mean? The nth factor. Where did I get the nth factor from? Well, when I was at Janesville Technical College down in, it's called Black Hawk Technical College down in Janesville. You know what I'm saying? Wisconsin, I want to give a shout out to .edu. You know what I mean? Yes. And you see, I had to change up the fits, you know what I'm saying? Because I had a fit, I had a connection, you know what I mean? So in the midst of having my connection, you know what I mean? The flow weights are not working, the speeds are not working, and we're gonna come at it with a different energy, you know what I'm saying? So, I definitely, you know what I mean? Give myself a pat on the back, you know what I'm saying? Because we gotta grow out of this, Michael. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a big shout out to Gary Holloway, you know what I'm saying? What it do, Hillside, you know what I'm saying? Let's rock and roll. We're going to talk about it, and welcome to 1438 North Ninth, the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Who am I? Michael Coast. You know what I'm saying? So what we talking about? We're talking about meltdowns. You know what I mean? And I just had a full onslaught meltdown. You know what I mean? And when you check the connections, you check the devices, and you check and you make sure everything is correct. Once you check all your bases and you know your bases are correct, and then you're not wrong, then you start to second guess yourself. You start to second guess yourself because you don't know you don't went over the bases and things are not working right, and you're just trying to figure out why in the hell things are not working right. You know what I mean? And then that little that little voice inside you say, tear this shit up. And you be like, fuck it, let's go. And just giving it to the Hulk. And then I gotta stop giving in to the Hulk. I tell you, I am a work in progress. You know what I mean? And that is a beautiful thing. I'm glad you can hear me on YouTube. And I'm gonna just say, and it's a pleasure to have y'all. Welcome. Thank you for allowing the time to come into your hearts, your homes, your minds, with the greatest appreciation and satisfaction. You know what I mean? Got to come back at it again because I just cannot let the spirit of procrastination, the spirit, of self-sabotage, and I cannot let the spirit, of me not reaching high to get what I want, you know what I mean, to invade me, because these are to me. You know what I mean? When I say beat into me. You taught not to want so much YouTube because I got an attitude with you, YouTube, and just like that. You know what I mean? You keep rocking the road. And these are disciplines that were beaten to me, I mean, vigorously. You know what I mean? If it wasn't, I was born in 1973. I want to give a shout out to all the FIMPs and all the ladies that were born in 1973 and the 73 babies. You know what I'm saying? That's the year Pippin was put down. You know what I'm saying? We're going to, does it ring a bell? And we going, you know what I mean? Because I was gonna do a damn interlude, and so okay, so the meltdown happened. You burnt the pot on the stove, the handle burnt. You know what I'm saying? You done burnt the turkey. You done burnt the whole Christmas dinner. And I gotta say, damn, you looking good, boy. You know what I'm saying? Once y'all give a black man a shout out, send them stars. You know what I mean? It'll be a pleasure. Become a subscriber, and send those stars. And with the purpose, with the meltdown, because going into a tizzy or conniption or just having a fit, as a grown man, you're allowed to experience, your anger, your happy, your sadness, your sympathy, your empathy for people. You know what I mean? The recognition. I was watching, and they give us a month. And we get an extra day. whoa! It's a leap year, so we got an extra day. We got an extra day. We got an extra date, you know what I'm saying, for Black History Month. But I'm black all year round, just like that, And so hell, whew, and you rock and you roll. So what I mean by these, inherent disciplines, because what they did to our culture, to even when I pass the police sometimes, and my first thing is I don't get scared, I get mad. You know what I mean? Or any type of control, because the minority will control the majority, you know what I'm saying, with fear. You know what I mean? And what they did, to our ancestors, when they got us over here, they took the strongest man, the biggest man. And like I said, they put him in front of all the people and they either beat him into submission until he died, or they killed him, or they had what's called a nigga barbecue. You know what I'm saying? And what did I say? A nigga barbecue. You know what I mean? And if you look up Cujo Baines, you know what I'm saying, West Indies, 1865, where the Willie Lynch theory was born by Willie Lynch himself. You know what I mean? And he only charged the dollar. He only charged the dollar, you know what I mean, for all of the plantation owners. And, then, we're going to say colonialness, colonizers. I'm not going to ever say the word slavery again. Why? Because we didn't choose to be in that position. We didn't choose, for people to put their damn neck put their foot on our neck for 400 years. You know what I mean? We didn't choose. We got diabetes because, if you look up the historical pictures of the food that we had to eat, it was all the bowels and the bad parts, and it just sat outside. Think of all organs and bad tissue and heart and livers that were just sitting out there rotten. It was a big ass pile of just guts and feces. You know what I'm saying? From animals, from horses, from cows, from pigs, from donkeys. And that is what we had to eat from. And so what Big Mama did, she chopped it up into little small pieces while everybody was out in the field, and she soaked it in alcohol, and she put it, in moonshine, and she put it in water. And she didn't have that much water because they only gave us buckets. They only gave us buckets. You know what I'm saying? So this is where diabetes come from. And if you think I'm lying, do your research, because fecal contamination of any part of the human body will infect it in different ways because the germs metabolize differently. Why? Because I'm a master trainer. And I study my culture. Grew up in Central Youth Library in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know what I mean? And devoured the entire microfilm and microfiche department in 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to a young man looking for something in life. You know what I mean? So we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's from Meltdown. So here is the origin of diabetes. Like I said, Big Mama only had a bucket, and she chopped all these organs and tried to get all the feces that she could, and they're microscopic. So what's not seen by the eye think that it's clean, think that it's good. You know what I mean? But you can never marinate microscopic organisms out of anything, whether it's meat, whether, you go from being vegan, shout out to the vegans. We're going to call the vegans the 30 steppers. You know what I'm saying? And for everybody that's just now joining me tonight, I would like to say welcome to 1438 North 9th, the podcast. It's a hillside production, baby. What's my name? Michael Coates. You know what I'm saying? My friends call me Conversation. And if you ain't subscribed to me, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Peaches. What's up, Keisha? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hillside. You know what I'm saying? We rock and we roll. We worldwide. So when that's cooked and it's flavored up or whatever, and it's put together and you keep eating it constantly. And then historically it goes down, because not only, you don't give a person feces unless you don't care about them. You know what I mean? So if you looked at Ashatel for any colonizer, for anybody, you know what I'm saying, that can trace their family line down to owning other people, you know what I'm saying? Colonizers, you know what I'm saying? You don't get the term, you know what I'm saying? Because cracker came from the crack of the whip on the back of the black man. That's where the word cracker came from. The sound, you know what I'm saying? And and the reason why I hit that, because sometimes life is painful and they get a little funny, but it's not funny. You know what I mean? So with the ingestion of fecal contaminated organs and organisms, what will go down through our history, that's where we get our eczema from. And you can see my eczema kicking my ass tech. You know what I'm saying? My eczema is kicking my ass tech. These inherent diseases come from us constantly. With soul food was really garbage. We call it soul food because that's the only thing we had to, that was the only food we had to feed our soul. That's why it's called soul food. Because when you don't have nothing, you got to eat something, or you will eat your arm. And that's why the black experience, and the Jewish experience is tied so inextricably. Because when you go to an extermination and the genocide of a people, you go all the way down. And I'm gonna tell you, there's something that I read. It's called the blood letters. I was 14 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know what I mean? And I read this thing called the blood letters, where one person, he survived Auschwitz. A lot of people survived Auschwitz, but this man's account was, he was like, at night, they would turn into gremlins. He said the eyes were glowing. And if you can just picture a dark room with hundreds of beds, it was 5 beds, one from the floor all the way to the ceiling. Only enough room, you know what I mean? Like the colonizers did, us as a nation of people, laid us down, put all of our legs shackled to a ball. And there was times when they didn't want us and they kicked that ball, and everybody went into that damn ocean unwillingly. unprepared, not knowing that death was their future. You know what I mean? So the blood letters, he said at night, certain people would wake up and the weakest person in the room would be laying there, and they knew that death was upon them because they were so hungry. Three or four people would get up at night and go eat that person. And that man that survived, he took a bone and sharpened it. And in the blood, when they finished, he wrote what happened in blood. And when they got freed, he held on to those papers and he called them the blood letters. You know what I'm saying? And he described in detail everything that happened in the cover of night under a heavy, auspicious nature of murder. You know what I mean? Like when I was leaving out this morning, oh, I have to ask myself, why does my culture listen to so much murder music and then go out to party and think that it's going to be a peaceful party? Why does my culture listen to murder music and then go out to party and think that it's going to be a peaceful party? You know what I'm saying? I want to say a shout out to, what I'm saying, all my people in Milwaukee, you know what I'm saying? My click rider, my click brother, you know what I'm saying? 414 Black G, what's up, big dog? You know what I'm saying? And I would like to say, what's up to Kim? What's up, famous to the Amos? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Tracy? I see you one. And I was just thinking about 25th Street with Auntie Rhonda. And I remember that day you was out there fighting, you know what I'm saying? You gotta love it. Want to say big shout out, you know? So most definitely. And we rocking and we rolling. So those blood letters, that's why I say our cultures are inextricably tied due to suffrage. And I was talking to my niece today, and she was like, Uncle Mike, I told her, I said, you're a vet now, you over 30. I said, you're a vet now, you over 30. She said, don't be telling my age. I said, I love you too. She said, Uncle Mike, I done been to the school of hard knocks. And I said, yeah, you done graduated with a suffering diploma. Not yet, though. She said, don't even put that on me. She said, I'm going to change that. She said, I ain't carrying the suffering. She said, it might be a diploma, but you're going to have to send me the light. And don't cut me off again. And she said, what? I said, what? She said, and don't cut me off again. I said, damn, she growing up. Cause and then I'm gonna be honest, I'm saying, shout out to my niece, Latoya Coates. She said, Uncle, she said, this conversation then took a whole little turn. I said, what? She said, I feel like you're a little salty. I said, I ain't salty. She said, don't lie. She said, don't pull back on me. She said, I know you're a little salty for that little check. I said, I gotta sign that check because I am salty. She said, but we ain't gonna let that affect our conversation. So I'm gonna give my niece Toya big. I love you, sweetheart. And to hear your elevation and your mind process and how you elevating, and only two people use the word vulnerable, you know what I'm saying, that I know. And two wonderful, sweet sources and streams of energy. One being my niece Latoya, way down in Arizona. Shout out to that hot ass place. You know what I'm saying? I like the cold, but I just don't like it when the internet ain't working. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get it right. And we're gonna woosah. And so yeah. So that's why I say our cultures are inextricably tied due to the suffering. And with my niece saying, no, I ain't with the suffering. You got to put the light on me and light me. I said, okay, well, you get there. I got you. I got you. And it just goes to show, you know what I mean, the elevation and discipline, but also how I'm still tied down with these moments of rage and this uncontrollable anger where I'm tearing up my own equipment or my own computer. I got a $1,200 computer in there that I done tore up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not funny, but it all stems back to slavery. And how do you say that? Because even though I just explained the Jewish component of it, and I just explained how diabetes and eczema, are tied, as well as sickle cell. My little brother Brian, Brian Fitzgerald Coates, what I'm saying? He living on in the cosmos and resting on good energy. So when you hear him, and if you know him, you'll see him in your heart and your mind, and he'll tell you how in a certain way. You know what I mean? I don't wear RIP t-shirts, no, do I release the damn balloons. You know what I'm saying? Because when you release those balloons into the atmosphere, they end up in the damn ocean inside one of the fish that we got to eat. So please, people, stop releasing the balloons, and please, you know what I'm saying? Be aware of this planet, because we're killing our planet. I think I got about 40 or 50 more on this big bubble. Then I'm off to the upper room. You know what I'm saying? Energy transfers. Shout out to my man Blade Luckett. So how would you say it goes down? Because when you take the strongest of any culture and you break him, and you break him, a nigga barbecue is when they set a black man on fire and hear him scream, and then they would take pictures. And if you need a point of reference, I want everybody to go on the internet right now and look up this book called Without Sanctuary. It's called Without Sanctuary. That's the name of the book. It's called Without Sanctuary. The Great Bill Duke. If you look up the Great Bill Duke, and if you know who Bill Duke is, you know what I mean? You might remember him from the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, called Predator. He was that big black man with that big ears going, just, he's like, I'm coming. Said, I'm coming, mama. That's the great Bill Duke, you know what I'm saying? The great Sidney Poitier, you know what I'm saying? The great Richard Pryor, Red Fox, you know what I'm saying? The great ones, whew, man, what's my man Robin, not Mort from Ork, damn, Baby Kids. Well, what is his damn name? It is on there. But anyway, so when you break the strongest in front of a whole populace of people, those people become intimidated. Those people become scared. Those people harbor fear. Those people feel the essence of what will happen to them if they don't do what the fuck they're told. They don't do what the fuck they told. They don't know where they at. They don't speak the language. You know what I mean? It's just the mothers had to pull their sons behind them and say, don't be so strong. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the great Bill Duke definitely played in Minister Society. And while he was talking, he said, read this book called Without Sanctuary. It's a pictorial and vivid account, a book that was written by two white men about what happened to black people. It's called Without Sanctuary, And so why do I say that Meltdown is inherently beating to me? Because what the queen did, she had to keep her strong man. You can't, they didn't allow us to read. They didn't allow us to get together. We couldn't congregate. So what did we do? We created, our underground economy. Y'all see these gold teeth? Y'all see that? Now, y'all might call Lee's a grill. But I'm going to set you straight, because Michael Coates don't do nothing unless he understand why he did it. And I ain't do it, it has a good value in the street, you know what I'm saying, shine in the ground, you know what I'm saying, ain't that hard to find, because I'm a street talking motivational speaker. You know what I mean? I done stood on these streets and still do sometimes when I go holler at my guys, but I got to watch that because they steal from me. Mookie, you know what I mean? I got to let that go, because if not, I'm going to end up putting my whole entire foot through that boy's spine, because he better get them glasses back, or he better have that money. You know what I'm saying? And that's real talk, real shit. YouTube, Facebook, community standards. Don't be so tight. You know what I mean? So with that being said, and you look at a queen, she said, I don't want you to be too strong, because you can't go. Now, where did that underground economy come from? Y'all called, they look good. I know. Yeah, pay some thousands. Gotta go finish off the rest because I got 4 little white men right there, trying to tell me, something. So this is called the bank. Why is it called the bank? Why? Because Big Mama would be in the back of the cabin. And once, we learn positions of blacksmithing and things like that, our big cousin, he'll be blacksmithing. He was strong. He had big arms like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because are strong. You know what I mean? Black leader, black man telling the black man's story. Not letting everybody else tell my story. You know what I'm saying? So Big Mama would be in the back, and our big cousin would go back there with them pliers and pull her teeth out. 1, 2, 3, 4. On Monday, he'll go encapsulate that in some sand. And why? Because I know the process of mold making. I done poured steel. I done did injection molding. I done had every job I done had about 14 jobs in my 51 years on this planet. So I'm not a jack of all trades, but I'm a master of some, because a jack of all trades who only master of one is really not a master of none. That's the whole entire thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me give it to you. So on Monday, when our big cousin pulled grandma's teeth all on that side, he went and casted them in whatever metals that he could scurry to the side, or whatever metals that were found in the field. So it was in the form of platinum, aluminum, copper, gold, or any precious metal. So you cast those teeth, you cool them down, and you take some moonshine and you put them back in Big Mama mouth. She could fit them back in, because within 24 hours, if those teeth are back in, they will fit right back into the socket before it starts to close. And how did she antiseptic it? Moonshine. Grandma used to get tizzy, swallow the blood. No, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. So that was the left side. He do it to the right side on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And Big Mama never talked. She always kept her head down cooking, you know. And when she couldn't fit no more in her mouth, she sewed them into the side of her apron, down the side, precious jewels and things like that. So, you know, the people that didn't like what was going on in those conditions, and everybody say the Underground Railroad. How did the Underground Railroad get formed? For every mile of the Underground Railroad, a person died. For every swamp, for every step in the Underground Railroad, a person died. When they got to a tree or something, they marked it, or they threw something up in a tree and they gave their life up, or they had no more run, or they had nothing left. They were caught, they were killed. We've been, when you go down south, do you know why when you go down south past the Mason Dixon line, it gets so quiet. It gets so pretty. Those luscious lands are like Cain and Abel crying out for the blood. It's so much history buried in the South. It's so many secrets buried under that beautiful, luscious soil. You know what I mean? And even as I study my life, my culture, and the history, like some of these lakes, at the bottom of those lakes are whole entire towns that they flooded. You know what I mean? Because whatever atrocity that like white people committed down in these southern states, these are our property. These are ours. We're not yours. We're people. And we built this motherfucking country. So why is this called the bank and not a grill? Because Big Mama had a mouthful of money, and in her apron was all type of trinkets, that could not be melted down, you know what I mean, or something that she didn't have the time to. And I want to give a big shout out, you know what I'm saying, to, my principal, you know what I mean? God damn. Hello, Felita. What's up, Kim? How you doing, Tyra? You know what I'm saying? It is a pleasure, you know? And if you don't know who on the microphone, my name is Michael Coates. You know what I'm saying? It's welcome to 1438 North Ninth, the podcast. Who am I? Conversation. You know what I mean? It's a pleasure, because like I said, tonight was going to be an interlude about me reading the book of life, but I had a total meltdown. And I know where the meltdown comes from. And I'm explaining the history of this meltdown that's inherently taught to Black men, and it's a self-sabotage act to keep us in place. And it comes all the way from Willie Lynch. You know what I mean? Willie Lynch did he did the speech in the West Indies in 1886, and they burned Cujo Baines, Khujobaines, at the stake. And what did Cujo do? He didn't cry. So what did they did? They pried his mouth open after he died, and he bit through his tongue because he didn't want to give them the pleasure of hearing him scream. His name is Cujo Baines, Khujobaines. Definitely. I'm going to give you where the information is. I'm not just talking. I'm a Generation X Generation X cross-generational specialist. I speak what I know, and I'm speaking from the heart, and I speak with facts. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's out there. And we're going to play some music and keep it going. So while Big Mama got this mouthful of money, and in her apron, she got these trinkets. You know what I mean? It's called the bank. Because, like I said, every mile of the Underground Railroad that got all the way to the north, finally, for everybody that died, they marked a tree, or they put a certain stone by a tree, or they broke so many branches off. You know what I mean? And this was passed by word of mouth. You know what I mean? So when you got to the north, the only thing you had was the colonizers' land. Like, my last name is Coates, Coates. You know what I mean? I did my DNA. It goes all the way back to Virginia, where my people are from. You know what I mean? My people are from Memphis. My people from Louisiana. My people from Arkansas. My people from Virginia. And that's where the name Coates comes from. My grandfather, Charles Coates, who never gave a damn squat about me, he probably up under that dirt right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say, hell, if a dog piss on you, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. What it ain't, it shall never be. And they were fired, damn it. So when you grow up as a bastard child or a lonely child, you harbor this anger about why I am not enough to love. Why does my daddy not want to be a part of me? So I'm going to swing that back around and catch you back over here. So boom. Like I said, once the Underground Railroad somebody made it, they sent word back like, okay, we can make it. So what did they do? Whenever somebody got that itch, they want to talk, they say, go talk to Big Mama. It wasn't a word. It was a look. It was a feeling. It was a look when you stand up to the oppressor and they go to hit you. And they get scared because they know if they hit you, they're going to lose their damn life. Then they know at the end of the day, they're going to kill you. So you got to go. It is time for you to go. You know what I mean? You go holler at Big Mama. She's going to give you some provisions and tell you, this is where you go. This is how you do this. You're not going to get no water. You're going to drink the water out the swamp and the land. Don't drink this water because it's contaminated. Drink the water that's over here, And as they went, Big Mama would go in her mouth and pull one or two teeth. One might be gold, one might be copper, one might be aluminum, two might be gold, three might be copper, seven might be aluminum. She knew the passage because life was weighed on the scale then. Your life was measured, by the Libras. And the reason why I say by the Libras is because life was weighed on the scale. Everything was on the scale. You give up a gold tooth when you got to a certain point, you got back, 2 silver. You get somewhere else, you give up a silver or 2 silver, you came back with a copper, and it's called bartering, So as our cousins and our aunties and our sisters and our Harriets and our Tubmans and our Douglas and our Fredericks, as the protagonist grew, and the movement grew, and it said, nah, you know what I'm saying? I can't deal with this. I can't live like this. This is not a way to live. So that's where this comes from. This is called the bank. And a lot of the reason why I got it put in the front of my mouth, because up north, we don't give not one, folks. We don't give not one, And also, the bank was used in ceremonies. How do you think they went from plantation to plantation and paid for the feast and paid for the marriage? When they jumped that broom and they said, "You're Mrs. Coates," believe me, I done gave up one of Big Mama's big ass gold molars to let that family know that you are a woman of value and that I need you by my side and we need to connect. Because over at the plantation, they making us do incest and things like that to keep producing, to keep producing, to keep producing. That's not something that came from us. It's something that the colonizers did to us to keep producing, produce a child, produce this. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Facebook? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. It's Black History Month. They gave us an extra day. I'm black 365 days a year. I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? The way I know it. And I'm gonna give you a point of reference so you can do your own research. You're gonna get a point of reference so you can do your own research. Why did I get on this? Because I had a meltdown, and I know where the meltdown comes from, and I've been knowing years for the meltdowns. And I'm pretty even keeled as a man, as a person, except for I'm flawed. I am flawed. I'm not perfect. I do the best I can do, and overly the best, so I can regard myself and look at myself in the mirror at night and be proud of who the hell I am. But then there are times when the Hulk just want to come out and just smash, smash, smash. But then I have to think about it. Do I care about Big Mike? Nope, because I'm the Hulk, and that's my alter ego. You gotta love it. So I had to think back. I was like, why am I, tearing up things that I need, or you know, self-sabotaging myself not to reach high, you know? And yeah, it was beaten to me, you know. I'm talking about beat, extension cords, broomsticks, belts, whoopings, whooped in front of other people, allow other people to beat me. You know what I'm saying? And don't weep for me, don't cry for me, don't say, oh, it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. And you keep moving. So that's why I got on this, because I'm like, I got to explain the nature of meltdown. So if you look at the video before this, that's on Facebook, I'm going to name it the damn meltdown, part one. You know what I mean? Historical sabotage, and self setbacks that come inherently all the way back to Willie Lynch. Be honest. Yeah, it pissed me off. So I got to talk about it. I can't. I'm unable. I'm not going to say the word can't, because that's just not a word that's in my vocabulary. You know, I'm unable to move on to a different topic, because then I will feel that I'm not being myself. Because that was a full onslaught meltdown, and yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some anger management. I ain't doing no damn anger management. I'm talking about it. It is what it is. This is my management. We're gonna manage the anger, and either pump iron or pick people up at the damn club and choke the hell up out of them. It is what it is. So, if this is your first time joining me, I would like to welcome you to 1438 North Ninth, the podcast, and I am Michael Coates. It's a hillside production. You know what I'm saying? Just like that. So, well, as we keep going, so this is the bank. It paid for the funerals. How do you think people were buried? They got one of Big Mama teeth. You know what I'm saying? Or she went in her apron and gave you some food and gave you enough trinkets to make it to the north. And this big piece of gold, or this big piece of platinum, that's it's just raw metal. When you get up there, you'll have enough to get what you need. Get somewhere, get a job, send something back. For every one that made, three was brought back. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's a shame because it's like that right now. You got 75 million people who still believe that America was great. America was not great. You know what I'm saying? When you got the statues, porch monkeys, and you got all of the memorabilia, you know what I mean? America wasn't great. It was the lowest time in America, but it was building. It just built kind of the wrong way because it stole free labor from the entire culture and it got a 400-year head start. And often at times when I see white men begging, and do you know the slick ones, that want to talk that ish and want to beat their face in? I said, you had a 600-year head start because even after the Jim Crow laws, I was born in 1973. 1968, they still had up. They didn't take down the blacks, the coloreds only sign, whites forward, blacks to the rear. They didn't take them signs down until the early 70s. Early 70s. And Martin Luther King was killed in 1968. And once they started signing into law the civil rights, acts and movements, from Civil War to civil rights, that's what I'm gonna call this. I'm gonna name these 3 episodes Civil War to civil rights. You know what I mean? And it started with a damn meltdown. So I'm gonna write an entire day. I'm into it. I'm salty, you know. So that's why I keep my bank in the front of my mouth. I'm a man. Well, like most of the time when I say I'm a man with a mouth full of gold on a gold microphone with a story that needs to be told. There's always something, there's always a message in what I'm saying. You know what I mean? As I travel, what I'm saying, in the light from the darkness, for the people that know I'm a traveling man, you know what I'm saying? And that's my sign and my symbol right there. If you know what that is, you know what I'm saying? Welcome, brother and sister. You know what I mean? And if you don't, you know what I mean, then I say travel lightly. You know what I mean? Don't impede. When you're anchored and you know what the shield is, you might be knowing what I'm talking about. I'm gonna just stop it right there. You know what I mean? So we keep moving, we keep moving. That's why I put my money in the front of my mouth. Because some people catch gold fever when they see you talking with a mouth full of money. Yeah, let's talk. Let's go. I want everything that's in the highest places and only as high that I want because I done seen some real high places do. People in the highest places do the lowliest of things. People in the highest places do the lowliest of things. I done seen them. I done protected them. You know what I mean? I break their shit if they do something that I didn't like. I done lost a lot of security jobs by choking celebrities and putting my foot in their Aztec. We ain't gonna name no names. We just know I got kicked off the tour bus, and we just know that you scared for life when you come to Chicago. We know you scared, just like that, because there's a brotherhood that goes on in any industries, you know. And what am I talking about? Meltdowns. How did my meltdown take me all the way back to Cujo Baines of 1886 of the Willie Lynch theories? It was a theory. He got all the plantation owners together, charged $1, and it's a rotating. He's, and you got to go look at it yourself because I'm not going to repeat it because I know it word for word. I'm going to give it to you like that because he don't need to live on through my voice. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, and we keep moving. So that's why I keep my money in my mouth. I want my bank to be seen. Let me taste it. Grew up watching Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I thought caviar was beyond reach. I can go to the store right now and spend $20 up to $100 up to $1,000 to get some caviar. Do I like caviar? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It goes down well because don't put no money in your mouth if you're going to still eat Boston baked beans. Don't put no money in your mouth if you're not going to pay $100 for dinner for yourself. Do not put no money in your mouth if you're not going to buy the best colognes, the best products, the best linens for you to feel nice in, and something that you can afford and not overly reach. That's called luxury to me. I bring luxury down to me. I'm not searching for it. It's in me. Success is in me. I embody it. You know what I mean? And whatever you claim, whatever you manifest, I manifest success. I'm gonna have 2 million, 6 million followers in about 3 years. But I'm gonna say, you know, you know, we need about 1 million. And why? Because I'm speaking my truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling my reality. And just in a meltdown, I have to go down and open up these files that I just been letting be dormant. You know what I'm saying? It's time for you to know them. And I think that's really because, it's really for me to be in your company and for you to understand and take the time out to hear my oration and my communication of what I'm feeling and doing. You know what I mean? I'm a Gen X cross generational specialist, street talking motivational speaker. You know what I'm saying? My name is Michael Coates, and this is a Hillside production. And it's a pleasure to have everybody that's on here. And for everybody that's on here, do you like me enough? Send me some stars. I appreciate it. I don't beg for nothing. It comes. I embody success. And if you're on YouTube, send me some stars. It'll be a pleasure. Subscribe. Because Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. through 7 p.m., I go live. Tonight, I had to do a hiccup. So I had to come on a little bit later. So it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking your time to be with me. You see, I had to put the shirt on. It's raining in Chicago. Had to put on a little bit more protection, you know what I'm saying, with my jade. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have a jade. I got the big boy jade, had to take the medals off and become more altruistic in who I am and what I embody and how I communicate and what I want to be seen as. I'm an Aries, an Aries, god of war, sign of fire, and I look Chinese right now because I am up there. You gotta love it. And if you don't live in the green state, I feel sorry for y'all because man, we living good in Chicago. I'm gonna give y'all a big kiss in any other state that y'all living in, because it's a pleasure. Yeah. And why did I go off into these realms about diabetes, eczema, sickle cell, and how our heritage was not born with these traits. We were given these, what I'm saying, as a means to die out. They wanted us like rat poison to rot from the inside and just die out and all of a sudden not be around anymore. What the hell would America be without the Indians and the black people? Tell me. A lot of my friends who came from England, they love being around people of different colors because where they grew up, everybody is the same color. They just got different accents and different racisms toward each other, and yet they all the same color. You know what I mean? Ain't that something? I think that's why they got on them boats to go and conquer the world because they got tired of looking at anyone for each other. Because if they didn't, they would have killed themselves. You know what I mean? That's just being honest. Why am I so little calm now? Because definitely I had to let the spirit of procrastination and the spirit of anger out of my space. I got to do some sage tonight, some things like that. I believe in energy and spirits, and I believe the way that I'm communicating is, it's transparent. Because there's no way in hell I would have got on here and started talking about something, and my heart would have been in it. Because I'd have been thinking about, I gotta go and do this. No, I'm just, hey, it is what it is. What it ain't, it shall not be. Somebody gonna learn from this meltdown. And I just appreciate being alive. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I hear you, Brian. You know what I mean? Because Felita is on here tonight, dude. And you got to love that. And like I said, that's my brother, Brian Fitzgerald Coates. If you don't know who he is, but if you do know who he is, and he in your heart, mind, body, and soul, he'll talk to you. He'll be like, yeah. So we keep moving like that. And to all of my people from the projects that have lost their existence or, Mayflower Core, Al, Lisa, Boo, I could go on for days and hours, but, this is not, this is not that. I'll talk about that a different day. I got to write it down because this is definitely a plan. Because I'm taking notes. You got to take notes, you know. And what's the purpose of this talk? To explain the history of these damn meltdowns, uncontrollable anger, and these fits of rage, And what did I talk about? I talk about Willie Lynch, and his theories and his speeches given to the plantation owners, and what a nigga barbecue is when a black person is burned to a crisp and they break off pieces. And there are a lot of families to this day way down deep in their cellars or in a little piece in the floor or up in Ma's cabin, or they cabin in the woods. They keep pieces of us, as trinkets and forms. Some of the most wealthiest family got many black artifacts in their safes, from ears to eyes to noses to fingers to penises to toes. Those were the those were the valued pieces: a black ear, lips, nose, fingers, penises, toes. Whenever you ran and they chopped your feet off, they kept the toes and they put them on the keychain and let them rot into little balls. Or whenever the trees, you go under the Mason-Dixon lines and those beautiful lush trees, the trees are the witnesses to the atrocities that were happened to us. When you can kill, some voting workers, two, I think it was two black and two white, and you can bury a whole goddamn car. When you can bury a whole car with the people dead inside of it, you got that much time and that much power, and then sit in the courtroom and laugh, because one none done to y'all. Every family that has their hand, in the murder and killing and the dragging, of black people behind they trucks and their cars, or killing us for fun, or the Ku Klux Klan. I'm definitely, not a hateful man, but I'm gonna pray against y'all. I'm gonna pray that the retribution that y'all family line has come through your family line, and that the blood that was wasted on your time in your town, and all the videos, and things like that. I pray that it go through your timeline and it comes through now, and people know what's in your family's history, what's locked in y'all safes, what's hidden in up in them hills, what's hidden under them creaky floors in that little space, a half a foot down. Or if you go in the attic and you move a certain board and you find everything in the evidence. You know what I mean? That's where it's at. That's where it's at. How did I get on this? Because of the damn meltdown. Where did the meltdown come from? Because growing up getting beat with extension cords and bats and being trying to be broke like Antoine Fisher, my mama didn't just do that. She didn't just wake up one day and be like, I'm going to just beat the fuck out of my kids because I don't want them. Nah, that was handed down to her because that's how she was treated. My grandmother was treated. My grandfathers were treated. My great grandfathers, my great 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 grandfathers, all the way up to the point when they got us standing on a stage. Because I'll tell you something, and most people don't know this, and I didn't know this, but where that incident happened where they jumped on that boat landing. It's amazing, that boat landing. Where that fight happened, where the white family jumped on the black boat member, and the black dudes came around, and then they came up with the chair. You effed around and found out, and then the chair incident, and the chair got famous. One thing everybody does not know, that was a slave landing. That's what they called it. That's what the colonialists call it. And we, as they pulled up, we were stripped down on that very landing, on that very landing. And if you see how the top was, where the people was looking down, that's where everybody looked at us and judged us and said, okay, I'll take this one. I'll take that one. I want this girl. and pedophiles took kids and did what they want with them. You know what I mean? That particular landing, where that fight happened, if you do your research, that is where black people were bought and sold into slave conditions, into bondage, even the bondage of being taken for spices, and most people to say, oh, well, they participated in it. When you go to a land where they never seen pale people, and then communication is struck up, and they started trading things and bartering, but somebody had their hand behind their back, and they had an ulterior motive, you know, and life is what it is, and I can't go back 600 years and explain why it happened. I just know I'm part of the process because when I graduated from high school, a year later, I went straight to prison, the pipeline. I graduated with a high school diploma. Next I was in the penitentiary with a low 3 years for hustling. 8257101, Walpond, Dodge Correctional Institution, Walpond, Wisconsin. Look it up if you think I'm lying. That's my colonialness number. That's the number they give me to follow me where I can get jobs. So I had to create my own lane. I do security and I do personal training due to the fact that, you know, I have a background. Why do I have a background? Because of the choices that I never had, because of the elimination. Compton used to be all white until white flight. Four black families moved in, all the white families moved out, all of the businesses left as well. Because if those businesses had stayed, Compton would not be as fierce as it is. If those businesses had stayed, Compton would have been a black paradise. I'm telling you. But when you suck the life out of something, you make it suffer, and you make it suffer long, and you make it suffer hard. That's what it becomes. It becomes a pulpit of desperation, defamation, and crab like syndrome and structures. But also, when you put the teachings of colonialness, servitude, you know what I mean, when you put that in, oh, that's an amalgam that goes back to the perpetualness of echo stop. I was about to say, who in my damn apartment? If you got in here while I'm podcasting, you get in here while I'm podcasting. Ooh, you a free body. You get in here while I'm podcasting. You better be looking for it because you're gonna get it. Okay, let's open up that. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. Yeah, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good because it's pain. You get up in here, you're gonna wish like hell you got out. Because I'm having lunch tonight. Let's go. Let's go. So this is the start of a 3-part series on meltdowns. You know what I mean? And traditions carried on from slavery. You know what I mean? Traditions and disciplines that were beat into me. You know what I mean? To be right, to stop smacking, to stand up straight. You know, I was shy. I'm still shy and I'm still sensitive, but I'm a big ass shy and a big ass sensitive. And, you know, and I would tell you something, and this is real talk because I seen something today. Not today, but when I was coming out my shyness and sensitivity, I used to walk down the alleys in Milwaukee because I was looking for that funk. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, a few people jumped up, and man, they wish they would have stayed they ass laying down by that garbage can. I used to walk down the alleys looking for it. You know what I mean? And still do to this day. I will walk down the alley because I'm looking for it. I am definitely looking for it. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing. It's amazing. because if I don't have that avenue to give it out or to put it into the weights or to put that aggression somewhere, yeah, I didn't. Unfortunately, it is what it is, you know. And like I said, if this is your first time joining me, welcome to 1438 North Ninth, the podcast. And I am your voice of choice, conversation, but my friends call me Michael Coates. And then we'll switch back, you know? So, like I'm saying, what is the historical point of self sabotage and these meltdowns? It came from when they took our big cousin and they split him into two, having horses running in opposite directions. It came when they beat us so bad, or our big cousin or our father in front of everybody, where his skin is open and it's just pulsing out blood and pus due to the agony and the pain and him not screaming. It came out when they chopped our feet off or chopped our hands off because we wouldn't scream. You know, that's where it comes from. It comes from when your mother wants to dumb you down as a strong black man so you don't get hurt or killed, even in today's world. You know, I never understood when my mother was like, "The police stop you?" You say, "Yes, sir." Why? I don't know that, man. You just say, "Yes, sir." Nah, pow, get slapped. See, you don't listen. I do listen. I listen. You trying to dumb me down, and I'm just not that. So I went through years. Y'all might call it whoopings. I call it motherfucking abuse. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunately that's why I don't talk to her now. And if you're putting your hands on your kids or doing something like that, you're gonna get a lot of space. And when I mean space, space, because don't nobody want to talk to you. Don't nobody want to see you. You're a fucking monster. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but this is my truth and I'm giving it. You know what I'm saying? So kiss my ass. It is what it is. You know? I ain't gonna talk about it, and not be 100. It is what it is. I gotta give it up. Gotta give it up. You know? Got to give it up. You know? And what's one of the processes of how to overcome? And yeah, usually I'm on from 6 to 7. Today went over a little bit. It is what it is. It's my platform, So let's roll. One of the main things, is to overcome it. So I wear a lot of crystals. I do a lot of sage. I talk to people with good energy, and I seek out people who got metaphysical energy that can heal me or help me. You know, and I've met a lot of people. You know, and also doing the purpose of doing security and master training, I've learned so many things about people and humanity in life, you know, and the bottomless pits of it and some of the highest mountains, you know, and I'm enchanted. I'm definitely enchanted. So my topic tomorrow is going to be, I'm gonna touch base back on this and bring it forward. But the topic tomorrow is how to overcome, you know what I mean, inherent disciplines that were beat into me that I wear on my heart and I'm trying to get away from, you know, or the self-sabotage of not paying a bill and letting it double on you. Then going, damn, this bill double on me. Or the self-sabotage of not getting up and being on time. Or the self-sabotage of me biting my fingers and all my skin. Because if you notice, my fingers and my skin are two different colors. You see that? The thumb is two different colors. You see that? And you see, kind of look raw. See that? It's two different colors. I bite my skin a lot. You know what I mean? My little brother Brian, rest in live on. Because I ain't gonna never tell you rest in peace. Because your spirit is moving. The anticipation of pain and the anticipation of being beat and the anticipation of not eating that night. I used to just chew my fingers. You know what I'm saying? And when my fingers would bleed, I was like, at least I made myself bleed and nobody else did. And I took them ass whoopings like a champ. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud of that. That don't it did something to me. And it's not the best. So man. So yeah, that meltdown triggered something. That meltdown opened up a pathway. And I said, I gotta get this up. Because I'm carrying it too long. I'm carrying it too long. And it's time for it to go. Because as successful as I am, why am I still dealing with these issues? Hell, I'll be 51 this year. I got probably about another 40 some years on this planet. So, whew, I done gave it to y'all tonight. So, Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. through 7 p.m. Mm. Gotta talk. Whew. Mm. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. through 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. through 7 p.m. My name is Michael Coates. My friends call me Conversation. Whew, not only has it been a pleasure communicating with y'all and expressing these skeletons and these demons that gotta go. Mm. Okay, get it out. Get the message out. I hope somebody can learn from what I'm communicating or what I'm giving. It's been a pleasure. And like I said, this is called The Bank. It's not called a grill. And look at the book Without Sanctuary. The book is called Without Sanctuary. It'll open up your mind and your heart. Also, get the book The Life. It's by Holloway House Publishing. And it's called The Life, The Lore and Folk Poetry of the Black Hustler. I'm a cross generational specialist, Gen X. I'm a street talker, motivational speaker, Michael Coates. So God bless y'all. Good night. I will see y'all at 6 p.m. tomorrow. I gave it up enough tonight. Man, because in order to get these demons and these practices out so I can stop sabotaging myself is to get the pain out. So thank y'all for your time. And Black Kings, it's not a bad thing to express yourself. You know what I mean? Because once you give a person all your weaknesses and your secrets, they don't want to do nothing. Because then they know you ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? So God bless y'all. Good night.